Hello everyone and welcome back once again to a Legionary's Life, where we're doing a low virtue run. I'm pretty far into the Macedonian campaign. Just kind of looking at those there stats. Seems like my quickness has been decreased by significantly due to why is that messages log there suddenly? That's new. Okay. Consul Flaminius is known for being a Philhellene, a great admirer of Grecian culture. Virtuous, honorable officers who could help establish firm and long-lasting ties with the locals might have better career opportunities as long as he's in charge. Unfortunately, you don't have a particularly strong reputation in this regard. Alright. Alright. Yeah, sure. I wonder. Okay. So, what's the new thing about this then? Your victory at the River Ouse opened up a path through Epirus and through Thessalia, a region long under Macedonian dominion. Here you are joined by two allies, the Aetolians and the Athamanes. They've already taken control of several towns, so why would I want to see that? The Consul is determined to capture the city of Floria, but it's garrisoned by 2,000 soldiers. We've already seen this one before. Oh yeah. Days after the siege began, your patrol captures a group of merchants not too far from the city. Try to pry some useful information out of them. They might know a weakness in the city's defenses. They won't cooperate. Let's use any means necessary. And we failed the virtue check, which is what we want. It takes a while, but one of the merchants eventually breaks. He swears by the gods he knows nothing of the city's defenses, but can tell you where a stash of valuables is hidden in Floria. This could be useful once you gain access to the city. Today you'll storm the city walls. Wherever you look, men are at work building ladders. I guess we're gonna do another... one for Mural Crown. Sure. And things are going well so far this time, at least. So, we'll see whether I get it this time. What is this? It seems like they updated the game, but there's definitely some new stuff going on here. So... I'm I guess that a sword which is full means 100%. I guess this... I'm not against this system, but to be honest, I liked the look of the thumb better if it was actually accurate, I guess. I do have to get adjusted to this a bit. Wow, this is tough on the eyes. And it really takes a while for me to refocus on how to read this. So I guess that a head attack, it's like 60%. Soft spots is a no-go. I don't think this cap is very good at preventing or absorbing damage. I guess it is, maybe. Okay, so... I mean, the best would be groin, but we have a very low chance of bypassing the armor. I guess for most of these guys, doing a shield knock or something similar will probably help. Great. Well, if things continue like this, I will still not get it anyway. Yeah, sure. I mean, doing the shield knocks, that's just no good. I think the chance of successfully doing that is way too low here. And I actually dislike these more because they still don't seem to represent the actual odds. But again, that just seems to... it might just be me. Anyway, now that we've recovered from doing these terrible shield skills here, I guess the best way to go at it is just at the head. I don't have any words, really. I have no clue what I'm supposed to do here to end this quickly. The first time I went through the Macedonian campaign, it was relatively easy, but I seem to be unable to deal with these garrison soldiers now. Like, even in general. And I don't know what my tactic was back then, whether they were beefed up or... Do I seriously have to lower their stance fully before being able to do something with feints? That is so bad. Seriously, against regular garrison soldiers, I've not been able to do anything for 27 turns. Maybe I shouldn't have done the last update that was going along. Things were going well, but... Okay. Well, let's do this. This is gonna take years, but I seem to have no other reliable way to defeat them, even remotely. So this is how it's gonna be. Alright, guess that's the appropriate tactic. Maybe. As long as they don't recover, that is, but of course these guys were already tired. This is why I don't like a tactic like this, because it also can take very, very long. Like, what the heck is going on here? Nope. It might actually look like this is pretty reliable, but it actually isn't. What is happening here is that this is, well, roughly 55% chance to 60. Let's just make it 60 for easiness sake. Then the chance to get a successful knock on this guy is 0.6 times 0.6, and that's taking it on the high margin, which is a 36% chance, and that's relatively high. I'd rather think that it's only about 1/3 chance to do successful knock. That's 1/3, whereas if you fail, so a 2/3 chance of getting your own stance reduced, which is obviously not a good place to be in. It doesn't get much better for a regular charge, so shield skills are out of the question. None of these attacks look any good at all. This is... head seems to be the best, with a roughly... yeah, it's... I would say 37-38% chance of dealing damage. But that's about it. So I'm pretty much forced to go for feints. Was it really that bad the first time? I actually remember getting a mural crown on this attack. But I seem to be unable to do anything against them now. Me and my sufferings going through this game. It's just unbelievable. Okay, I mean, it's not as if this is the 15th time that I played this game, and I still can't beat a regular garrison soldier. And it's not my tactics, because the odds are just really bad. Just in general. The odds that I have are just garbage. Alright, they're a bit lower. So I guess shield knock now is a reasonable chance at least. Oh, what? I'm already tired? How fast did that go? Game? Well, if I die, I die. I'm forced to do nothing. I can only hope to survive this. How did I get tired so quickly? Did hardly anything. Yeah, sure. When Floria is secured and it's time to pillage, you proceed on your own following the merchant's instructions. You pass the main city square and follow 2 side streets until you arrive at the warehouse he told you about. You find a loose board exactly where you expect it to be, and an appealing sight welcomes you. The stash is full of costly articles. Too bad you can't take everything without being discovered. Take what you can without being discovered, and then share this find, of course. You pick up an expensive-looking helmet. You can say you took it from an enemy you killed during the fighting. I didn't kill that many. Nobody could disprove that. You also take a few gems. They are easy enough to conceal. Sweet. Your senior officer congratulates you on your lavish discovery. After you've left the burning ruins of Floria behind, the rewards of the battle are assigned. Yeah, what was up with that battle? That was complete trash. Man. Alright. I read in the description that they changed some, or they did some minor tweaks to the way combat works, but that was wow. I mean, these guys are still easy enough, but I would be surprised if this suddenly was a difficult fight. Anyway, I'll see what happens in the next few battles, but if this is the way it works now, things are not looking good. Yeah, sure. Because even the lowest of troops will be very difficult to kill now, I think. Thracian auxiliary. Alright, well. Charge is about a 50%. Knock as well. Guess the feints are fine. I probably need to hit him in the groin, but again, this is a very low chance, a relatively low chance hit. 60 is not bad, I suppose. Let's just get him lower than that. Okay, I think this is probably the final battle, so I don't think that I've shown this off. Maybe. Well, I probably will have, because there's still this encounter with the other guy for the battle. You're accompanying a vanguard that mostly consists of light infantry. Your mission is to learn what you can of the Macedonians' whereabouts. As a surprising short quest, you're crossing the hills to the north of your headquarters, where you run into a similarly composed party. Enemies. Their own camp must be very close. Philip is certainly not wasting time. He must have learned of your presence and is already on your heels. You just observe each other from a safe distance and wait for the messengers to have been sent to Flaminius. Come back with instructions. Part of the rival vanguard belongs to the Agema Peltasts. You can tell by their insignia. If normal Peltasts are the best of Philip's infantry, these are the cream of the crop. You cannot attack, but you can issue a challenge to single combat. It could be an occasion for personal glory, or an early grave. I remember last time issuing the challenge. I'm not going to do anything foolish this time. Dusk is approaching when they come back. There will be no fighting today. You're all to return to camp. In the morning, both commanders send off a party of cavalry and light infantry. During the action, your Italic horsemen are outshined by their Aetolian allies. They're not as good as the Numidians, but still remarkable. On the next day, you break camp, imitating the Macedonians. Clearly, both Philip and Flaminius are dissatisfied with the ground. For 2 days, you move across southern Thessalia, making no contact with the enemy forces, their exact position hidden by high hills. Finally, you encamp at the sanctuary of Tethys. Not far from Pharsalus, an intense thunderstorm makes sleep difficult during the nights. Upon awakening, you find a persistent fog that fills everything. This doesn't bode well. The Macedonians could be anywhere. You watch with curiosity as 10 squadrons of cavalry and nearly 1,000 velites are assembled and dispatched to investigate the hills. At least you remember where... Well, at least you remembered there were hills yesterday in that direction. As you look at the large scouting party disappear into the fog, you recall someone mentioning that they are called Cynoscephalae, the dog's heads. It takes quite a while for messengers to come back, and when they do, the camp is stirred into ferment. What filters to your ears is most disturbing. The patrols have met with an enemy force they can hardly hold off. Another detachment, about twice as large as the first one and compromising many Aetolians, is sent to help them. When the fog disappears at last, you can see the engagement going on. Your allies are being steadily pushed downhill by a superior force. The proconsul has formed you into two wings. Your maniple is on the right of the left one, in front of the raging battle. There is nothing ahead of the right wing as far as you can see. You advance, and as the retreating skirmishers fall back through the gaps in your formations, the center of your line makes contact with Philip's troops. The effect is almost immediate. Now it is the opposite side that is slowly losing ground. Nevertheless, as the fighting spreads, a small group of mercenaries falls upon you. What do they think they are doing? Probably trying to kill me? Perhaps. Once again, the AI has the high ground, which is a common theme. Let's take a look at these. We'll probably have to go for a feint before anything, because, yeah, it's just not looking too good here. Deft already seems to be looking pretty reasonable. And a regular neck attack is not really great, so we'll have to go for the soft spot. Looks good enough. Oh. Okay. You follow the fleeing mercenaries, but close to the top you find a dreadful surprise. The Phalanx is here. Its long pikes are lowered and ready to push you all the way back down. Okay. As the Phalanx approaches, it is impossible not to notice that their ranks look deeper than last time. It will be like fighting against an avalanche. Yeah, okay. So I guess again I'll be looking at doing chop here, because slash does too little damage, I think. And well, actually, if you think about it, chop does 1. Now the problem is that the enemy will resist the damage as well, so you're best off doing it like that indeed, because they'll absorb damage. Recover. There we are. Getting very lucky here, though. At least for now. What? Rally? Seriously? They get to regain health? Never seen that ability before. Neither have I seen attack head before. Come on. Hits. No. Okay, come on. Ha! Got it. You have broken through the spear wall. You engage the Phalangites without wasting time. You're outnumbered, but they're not as skilled as you at close quarters. So again this, huh? But again, we're already getting relatively tired. This is about 50, so I'd rather go for a feint. Okay, fine. Really? I always love it when these recovers fail like that. That's the absolute worst. Because now I already wasted a lot of time. Yeah, and I have to start over again. Or can I attack, possibly? Nah, it's just not good enough. With only 50%, ultimately it's like a 40% chance of dealing good damage. And if I want to consistently take them down... Again, I might not actually be able to kill any of them this way. Come on. Okay, good. This one is most tired. Great, skip my turn, huh? Alright. Yeah. You've opened up a gap in the Phalanx. Other legionaries try to follow in your wake and engage the Macedonians, but the ground and the exceptional depth of their formation force you to pull back before you're crushed by sheer numbers. The pressure on the whole front line is overwhelming. Mercifully, the uneven ground is slowing down the cumbersome Phalanx. Your partially broken ranks use a moment of respite to rally a little. You see the other wing advancing with all the elephants in front of the infantry. They soon disappear from your field of view. You don't know what they are attacking. The hillside you're standing on hides everything. At length, you try to contain the advance of the Phalanx as best you can. Then they launch another all-out assault. Okay, it's fatigue. I mean, we're less fatigued, but it does increase the chance of chop. That always helps, I guess. I mean, it's not that big of an increase, pretty much about 10 to 15%, so it can still go either way, and like right now it's not going that favorably, to be honest. It's actually going a lot worse than the previous time, which is quite funny. Even though my chance to hit are like 10% higher at least. Yeah, I'll probably not break through it this time, like this. I got very lucky last time. Nope. Nah. Yeah, and they'll be back up to full health anyway at this stage. Well, I tried. It's not a whole lot I can do either besides just, you know, recovering and doing chop again. It does give you a pretty reasonable insight as to what that penalty is, because I guess we got about a 10% chance penalty, or 10% accuracy penalty on their chop for being fatigued. And yeah, great. Can we recover? Great. I'm surprised that for them to be tired, it actually doesn't help me that much. The difference in accuracy nearly didn't change at all, actually. But let's just again count how often I hit and how often I don't, because it's about a 50% chance of hitting. But even with this, if I keep dealing 1 or 2 damage, that's obviously not gonna be enough. No. Well, I tried, but the RNG wasn't with me. You don't know for how long you can continue holding out. You venture a look around. So many of the lads are close to breaking point. Your army is on the verge of collapse. You can barely see more troops approaching from the top of the hills behind the Phalanx. They are mostly hidden by the pikes held by the rear ranks of the Macedonians and impossible to recognize. But they must be enemies. More of them. So this is how it ends. The Phalanx is going to rout you, and the reinforcements will pursue and exterminate you. You feel almost resigned. You just hope they make it quick when it's your turn. When the reinforcements get closer and you catch a little glimpse of their shields, you can't believe your eyes. The rear of the Phalanx is trying in vain to turn around and face them. They're not enemies, they're Romans. You don't know how they got there, and you don't care for now. All that matters is that the enemy is surrounded and that you're going to live. You join the assault from this side. The plight of the Macedonians is hopeless. Their long weapons are just a hindrance now that they are being attacked from multiple directions. Many Phalangites throw their shields away and attempt to flee, but there is no escape for them. Before long, the survivors are holding their pikes high with both hands, a strange gesture you've never seen before. They must be surrendering. Tell your comrades to stop the slaughter. You should take prisoners. There's no need to kill them now, or don't say anything. Let the butchery continue. Well, completely enroll. I'm going to let the butchery continue. You could have saved many of them, but you've chosen to keep quiet. Here and all over the battlefield, the Macedonians are massacred by the thousands before the carnage is stopped. When all is over, you learn by bits and scraps of information what really happened during the battle. The right wing of your army charged with the elephants at the left of the Macedonians. There, the Phalanx was still in marching order on the difficult ground. It was put to flight right away. Most of the Romans and their allies were busy chasing the enemy, but one of the tribunes took about half a legion and came to your rescue. What happened next, you have seen with your own eyes. So it seems the enemy hadn't planned this battle after all. He was rushed into it as much as you. Philip and the rest of the survivors have withdrawn to Macedonia. Peace talks are resumed shortly thereafter. This time, the defeated king has no choice but to accept all the conditions imposed by Rome. The Macedonians give up all the lands of the Grecians in Europe and Asia, while impairing limitations are enforced on their military capacity. It looks like the sunset of the power that once had half the world at its feet. The Grecians acclaim you as liberators. You wonder if they realize they changed one master for another. They're formally free and subject to their own laws, but now that it's set foot in Grecia, Rome will not leave anytime soon. Such a wonderful and cultured land, but each city is following its own petty interests, and they're divided by perennial conflicts. They are doomed to be subjugated by more purposeful and tight-knit powers. Anyway, these thoughts quickly fade in the background of your mind. You're going home. The sun is rising behind you as you stand at the bow of the ship that will take you across the sea. Fail virtue check. As you look at the vast expanse of water, a smirk appears on your lips. Your new landholdings in Apulia, the reward for your service against Carthage, are waiting for you. The loot from this last campaign will make life even better. You relish the years to come. For a while you stand there alone, enjoying the company of the sea, the great sea that drop by drop is becoming your sea. Your service against Carthage had been rewarded with 14 aegera of land in Apulia. You spent a few placid years there with your wife and children. With part of the loot you had brought back, you doubled your land holdings. Your property was more than enough to ensure your family decent standards of living. Eventually, you were drafted once more. Antiochus, ruler of the immense Seleucid Empire, saw Rome as a serious threat to his hegemony in the east. You were part of the armies sent overseas to stop his efforts to liberate Graecia from the influence of the Republic. Your age and experience had ensured a place among the Triarii. Thanks to your extremely high popularity, you are appointed first centurion, the highest-ranking centurion in the whole legion. Pause weapon and defense. Despite being close to your 40s, you were still highly respected as one of the best fighters in the army. After the first year of war, you were greatly surprised to meet again your old commander, Scipio. This time he had chosen to act as a mere legate to his younger brother Lucius, the consul in charge. As a first centurion, you had a seat in the Council of War, along with the man who had been your commander when Hannibal was defeated. The war was won, but as a Triarius, you hardly saw any action, even at the great battle of Magnesia. Pass intelligence and charisma check. Upon your return to Italia, you moved back to Rome. As the illustrious winner of 2 civic crowns, you were admitted to senatorial rank. The honor and prestige implied by your new position dramatically changed your life and that of your family. You found yourselves involved in the politics of the capital. You were even elected to serve a term as quaestor, though your political career went no further. Come on. In the final years of your life, war was declared upon Carthage for a 3rd time. After a long siege, Carthage was razed to the ground by Scipio Aemilianus, the adopted grandson of Scipio Africanus, your long-dead former commander. Your reaction to the news surprised the people around you. It was as if part of you had burned with the Punic city. A mere few days later, you silently followed its fate, peaceful in your sleep. Yeah. Let's end that. And I'm quite sure I didn't do all that well as the first time, even. I think. No, I did not. Can you imagine that I did actually worse than the first time when I died? That is actually pretty sad. I got 3 mural crowns now, but I guess due to changes of the game and just sheer bad luck, I missed out on 3 of these. then I actually... Okay, I have less bronze armillus, but I have more gold and more silver. And the same amount of cups. So I also even had higher rank. I didn't make it to... No, never mind. No, that's it. Wow. Not too great, to be honest. If I have to say so. I mean, I like the ending there, but I kind of expected to do a little bit better. Either way, this is the end of the main LP for now. I might return to the game one day. As before, I want to ask people, what do you want me to play next? I actually did not get that many answers on the first time around, and to be fair, this is by far now the most popular game on my channel. So I'm really curious to know, what do you want to see? I did see at least someone pointing out, like, hey, maybe you want to play the game called A Merchant's Life. Maybe you want to see more RPG kind of stuff. I do like games like this, even though with a game like this, the RNG can be murderous. Yeah, so once again, please let me know what you want me to play, what seems interesting, what not, and I will take a look at all the comments and all the games, and depending on what people say, I would be more than willing to give new games a try. So yeah, if you want to see more of games like this, I would definitely recommend you to go and give some suggestions in the chat. Thanks for watching for now, and see you all in the next one or the next game. Take care. Bye bye.